How's it going, guys? We're going to be going over three ETFs that you probably haven't heard of. As we can see, we have made almost $2,000 for the month of January. Very great dividend income, and overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the holdings so far. So the first ETF we're going to be going over is DIVO, which is the Amplify Enhanced Dividend Income ETF. Now this is a pretty sweet ETF. As we can see, it is up 68, almost 69% all time. So this really allows you to have that nice growth in addition to dividend income. Now this is an Amplify ETF. Why would we invest in DIVO? It has great income potential. It has very high quality dividend oriented stocks, as well as they sell covered calls on these stocks to produce that dividend income. This is a monthly paying ETF as well, and it does have a lower expense ratio than some of those yield max ETFs. It is actively managed, and for an actively managed fund, it is quite low, whereas a yield max ETF would be about 1%. And it does have lower volatility, and because it's holding the shares of these high quality stocks, that is really why we see this great share price appreciation. And overall, this is just a really great fund to hold because you're getting that nice growth. If we take a look at the yield of DIVO, we also can see that it has a Morningstar rating of 5 stars, one of the greatest dividend yielding ETFs on the market right now. It does have a distribution rate of just under 5%. Now, as we saw, it does have a very great stock price appreciation. So that's kind of the trade-off you're getting. You're getting a nice growth as well as a monthly paying dividend yielding ETF. And then the next ETF we're going to be going over is another Amplify ETF. All of these are going to be Amplify ETFs, and Amplify is something that not many people have heard of, so these ETFs you might not know about. So this one is going to be qdvo, and it's only been out for about a few months now, but it does have growth as well as DIVO. So we can see the share price appreciating over time, and this is the growth and income ETF, so we are going to be expecting some growth in addition to some dividend income. So why invest in qdvo? It has growth and high income potential, as we mentioned earlier. It is a monthly paying ETF, so you are going to be receiving dividends every single month, and you are going to have equity and lower volatility exposure. So it is going to be holding shares of stocks, as well as some high quality dividend stocks as well, and it's going to be selling covered calls every single month to produce that monthly income. It is actively managed. All of these are going to be actively managed. When it's a covered call ETF, it has to be actively managed because there's going to be a fund manager doing those option trades for you. And it does have a 55.55% expense ratio. So let's take a look at the yield. It does have a higher distribution rate than DIVO, so that's going to be the main draw for this ETF. It has a distribution rate of 12, almost 13%, and that's going to be paid out every month. So you're going to be getting about 1% yield every single month, in addition to that share price appreciation. So let's go and take a look at the fund holdings. We're going to be holding a lot of tech, so these are going to be volatile stocks, and that's great when you're selling covered calls because you're going to get higher premiums on your options, and that is why we're seeing a 12% yield for the distribution rate. And because if we're holding tech, we're also going to be getting that nice share price appreciation, and overall just a really great fund, and not many people have bought into this because they're not aware that this has been released. So the third and final ETF is going to be HCAL, and like these other ETFs, it doesn't have that much of a NAV erosion. This one has been pretty flat, so this is going to be pretty stable in the stock price. If that's something that you're looking for, then this is a great ETF as well. And if we take a look at the reasons to own HCAL, we have dividend income and high option premiums. This main focus is selling covered calls, and we're really going to be having that high dividend income. So if we take a look at at the monthly distribution, we're going to have an 8% distribution rate paid out monthly. And if we take a look at the holdings, we can see that it has some holdings that are a little more stable than the other ones, which are more tech oriented. And that's why we're seeing a little bit lower yield, but we're also seeing less volatility because of that. So if you're looking for something a little less volatile, if you're closer to retirement, you need stable income, HCal is a great bet. But for me, someone who has a long time horizon, I would probably invest in qdvo or something with a huge track record. This divo has been out since 2016, late 2016, so it has a great history. As we can see, it's been performing extremely well, and overall this one is honestly my top pick out of the three to invest in because of the long track history. If we take a look at the returns from all three of these, we can compare and contrast all of the funds and see which one has been performing the best. So overall, qdvo has seen the most overall return, mainly because, as we saw, it has a lot of tech stocks. So that's really giving that premium for the covered calls as well as the share price appreciation. And but overall, you can't go wrong with any of these. They have been performing extremely well. And I forgot to show the holdings for divo. If we scroll down to the holdings, we can kind of see what we're looking at here. Where is the holdings? Fund holdings. So we're seeing United Health Group, Caterpillar, American Express, Microsoft, Home Depot, Honeywell, Visa. So these are really solid value stocks that have great high yielding dividends, and overall they're very stable companies. So you can't go wrong investing in this fund as well. But overall, qdvo is the one that you want if you want a huge share price appreciation, because it has a lot of tech. So, but keep in mind, it's going to be volatile. If tech does take a big dump, you are going to be losing a little bit more money.